Hi friends, today we are reading a book called Corduroy. That's the title of the book. I'm very excited to share with you this book because it is one of my favorites, and we also have a friend. I am noticing that they look alike. I wonder what his name is. So he's going to watch while you watch to read the story. This is by Freeman, Corduroy. I'm noticing something missing on the cover. I wonder what's missing. I see that he's missing something on his overalls. I wonder what that is. I believe it's called a button. A button is something that you use to connect holes in overalls or your jackets or your pants or your shorts. Let's see what's going to happen in the story. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. So I'm wondering, where did Corduroy live? He lived in a big store. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Have you ever been to the store with your family? And it seems like there are a lot of people and a lot of toys in the store. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." I wonder how Corduroy is feeling right now. The little girl really wants to take him home. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go see if I can find it." I wonder where he's going to go to see if he can find his button. Let's see what's going to happen next. Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. I'm noticing different things in this picture. I wonder what you can see. I'm noticing different toys, a bunny, a doll, a giraffe, and I wonder where he needs to go. I wonder if he's going to go up there. What is that called? Let's see. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. He went up the escalator. So an escalator is steps that move on a conveyor belt, and they just continue to move, and you stand on it until you get to the next level. How many of you have gone maybe to the mall and seen escalators? There's other places that have escalators also. I wonder where else has escalators. Could this be a mountain? He wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. Is this a mountain? A mountain has peaks, right? And it's in nature. What is this called again? An escalator, where it has steps that are moving and gets you to the next level, and it also comes down also. And it works with a conveyor belt, and a conveyor belt moves. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was a most amazing sight. I wonder what it was. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. This must be a palace. Have y'all ever been into a palace? I have never been into a palace. I've seen palaces maybe in movies. And yeah, just basically movies. And a palace is this big house with all these rooms and huge palace. I wonder if you can tell me where you've seen a palace before, or if you've ever seen a palace. I've just seen palaces in movies. Corduroy gasped. I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace. He wandered around, admiring the furniture. This must be a bed, he said. I've always wanted to sleep in a bed, and up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. Why, here's my button, he cried. And he tried to pick it up, but, like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. I'm noticing he's having trouble getting that button off. I wonder how he's going to get it off. Let's see. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. I'm noticing another vocabulary word, toppled. Toppled means when you fall down, when you lose your balance, oh my goodness, or when something falls. So he toppled and he flew down on the ground. Bang into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman. Oh my goodness. He was going his rounds on the floor above when he heard the crash. He came dashing down the escalator. You remember the word escalator? And now Corduroy went up and the watchman is going down. Now who in the world did that? He explained. Somebody must be hiding around here. See if he finds Corduroy. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Oh no! What's Corduroy going to do? Hello, he said. How did you get upstairs? I wonder what Corduroy is going to tell him. The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animal and dolls. Do you think Corduroy was able to find his button? Let's see. Hopefully he can find it. But what if he doesn't? Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. I'm Lisa, she said, and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home. So she saved and saved in her piggy bank where she saves her money. And she's able to bring her home. Let's see what's going to happen next. Shall I put him in a box for you? The sales lady asked. Oh, no, thank you. And she carried Corduroy home in her arms. Do you think Corduroy was excited? And little Lisa too? She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. An apartment is a building with different little units in it that some people call their home. And that's where Miss Talley lives too, in an apartment. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed, just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. This must be home, he said. I've always wanted a home. Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. Wow. So is Lisa fixing him up by sewing a button on his overalls? Sewing helps when shirts tear or when you lose a button like Corduroy. I like the way you are, she said, but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened. You must be a friend, said Corduroy. I've always wanted a friend. Me too, said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. The end. That's the end of the story for Corduroy. and he was able to have a happy ending, and he has a home. Thank you, my friends, for listening to the story, and we are going to ask a question. Do you have special toys that are your friends or that are your cousins? And what do y'all do with those toys? All right, talk soon.